Hey, what's up, you all? Chris, I have autism here, and as I'm recording, it is April 21st, 2023, and as I'm stuffing my fat ass with some pizza, I'm going to be talking about some stuff, like I always do. I also have one day left on my other channel before I can get back to posting on that channel, and that is because almost a week ago, as I'm recording, I had gotten a strike on my other channel for posting a video that YouTube looked over, and they said that I was saying a lot of things that were, in the lines of harassment and bullying. And I've already talked about this. And to clarify once again exactly what was going on is that I was calling out and ranting out a person who was harassing me, who was sending death threats to me. And in that video, in that rant, I got angry and I said I was going to do some stuff to him. And that didn't go well with YouTube. So, because I let my anger cloud my judgment without really thinking about the implications of my actions, as a result of that, I got a strike. I did have the option to appeal it, but thinking about all the stuff I said in that video, I could not. I mean, I decided not to appeal it because I figured there'd be no way for me to win that appeal. So that's why I'm at where I'm at right now. There's some good pizza. I had this pizza custom made. Was it the Detroit style? Anyway, so I've been reading up on this article that was posted back on April 14th, and it had to do with Bud Light and a transgender person on TikTok. Now, this transgender person on TikTok was promoting a Bud Light. Had a bunch of Bud Light cans and stuff, and there was and on the can was the face of a transgender. And it was a man, of course, dressed like a woman. And that spread a lot of controversy because Bud Light is known for being a very male-dominant product. Famous people like Kid Rock, a lot of you kids nowadays who are like 16 or 17 or 18 may not remember Kid Rock because you were probably in diapers when this dude was singing back in the day. But as a 37-year-old man, I remember Kid Rock. I remember his first song was "I Wanna Be a Cowboy, Baby," with the sun back, the roof back, sit back, and the sun starts shining. I'm trying to remember the lyrics. It's been a long time. It's like a rap song for rednecks. And it showed Kid Rock in his backyard with Bud Lights on a stand, him with his gun, just target practicing and shooting it, telling Bud Light to F off. Another reason why I want to make this video is because I want to announce that I have, as of this point, as I'm recording, it is April 21st, 2023, and I want to just make it announcement that I have 1 day left before I can go back to my other channel and start posting videos, because as of this point, as I'm recording, about almost 1 week ago, I got a strike on that channel, and because of that, I was unable to post for a week. And the reason why I got a strike is because I made a video that it was a rant towards a person who was sending death threats to me. This person was threatening to rape my mother. He was threatening to kill my dog, and I did not like that. So I made a response video in anger and frustration, and I ended up saying a lot of things in that video that came off as threats and harassment, because I said some things, I made some threats, and I said I was going to do some things to that person. I'm not going to say what those things are, because I don't want to repeat those things that I said I was going to do. But the reason why I got a strike on that video, on that channel, was because I made a video saying some things that were viewed as harassment and threats and bullying. And yeah, and I do agree that a lot of the stuff I did say in there I was basically pulling apart at the person. I was, judging this person's looks. I was making some threats towards that person. And I did this all out of anger. And the reason why I did it, like I said, was because this person was threatening me first. This person was making death threats before I made death threats towards him. And even though YouTube may not view it that way, because they're all about fairness and equality, which I understand, they want to try to keep things peaceful, I get that. But at the same time, in my opinion, I feel like it's total BS that I got the strike, because I felt in my heart, I felt what I did was justified. I felt like that dude deserved the words that came out of my mouth. He deserved he deserved to be he deserved to see that. I felt it was justified because he threatened me first. Come on, think about it. This dude was threatening to rape my mom and kill my dog. Like, that's some fucked up shit. How can you let something like this slide? No. I'm not apologizing. I'm not sorry. I don't care if YouTube gave me a strike. He deserved that. He deserved to be smacked with that video. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking with it. The dude literally he literally made threats towards me. Okay? And because I said I was going to make, because the threats I made towards him was not nearly as bad as the threats he made towards me. I never said anything like he said. I'm not going to, because the stuff he just said, he said he was going to rape my mom and kill my dog. You would never hear me making those threats towards anybody. Because only a sick, twisted person would do that. But YouTube has rules. Because I made the threat towards a guy, because he made a threat towards me, it doesn't matter. Because in their eyes, 2 wrongs don't make a right. But guess what? There's a gray area. YouTube, there's a gray area. And if you knew where that gray area was, then you would understand where I was coming from. Understand? But I'm not going to even bother to appeal that, because I only got 1 day left on that video. So, on that channel, I already removed the video. I wasn't going to even try to go through the trouble of trying to appeal it and explain stuff. Because even if I tried to justify what I did, YouTube, you wouldn't understand. you look at everything in black and white. That's the way I see it. I think that's the vibe I get. That's my opinion. I think YouTube looks at a lot of things in black and white. They don't look at the in between. They don't look at the underlying issue. They just say, hey, you know what? They don't care what the underlying issue is. You do something that goes against their guidelines. They don't care what the underlying issue is. They don't care about your feelings. All they care about is their rules. They're not for YouTube is not what it used to be. I don't feel like they're really for that much for the people anymore. I feel like they're more for themselves and their construct. And I still use their platform because it's the only one I can think of that gets the message across. I still like making videos. I still like expressing my opinion. And I have a right to express my opinion as part of my First Amendment. But yet, it's being held against me. So what's the deal with that? In my opinion, it seems like a Nazi way of doing things when I'm being punished for exercising my right to the First Amendment. I'm like, fine. I'll post on BitChute. I'll post on some other platform. Hell, I'll go to TikTok if I got to. I will post on TikTok. If YouTube's going to keep striking me for me expressing my opinions, I'll go straight to TikTok. I got other options, baby. I got a life outside of YouTube, trust me. I love doing YouTube, and I hate to give up this, but if I gotta do this, if I feel like I'm not even welcome, if I can't even express my opinion, then what's the point of doing this at all? The whole point of me doing YouTube is so I can vent out, and this was therapy for me. This was a way for me to express myself and to reach out to other people and to be able to express my own opinion and vent out. But I can't even do that without worrying about the consequences of YouTube giving me a strike, and they want to play this whole Nazi ordeal and just slap me on the ass with it, like I was a bad boy, spank me over and call me Sally. Tie me up, call me Sally, spank my ass. I've been a naughty boy. Bad boy, Chris. Bad boy, bad boy. You're gonna get the Swatsick whip for being too much of an American. I'm not trying to say. I'm just saying that as a figure of speech. I'm not trying to say that that YouTube is Nazi, but I'm all jokes aside, though, man. Like whatever, man. Whatever. Gosh. I love posting on YouTube, but sometimes I feel like they're being, and as a figure of speech, I feel like they're kind of being a Nazi towards me. I know they're not. I know they're not Nazis. I'm just saying that as a figure of speech. But if I somehow get a strike for it, it's because I think they view things about black and white and they don't look at the gray. Look at the gray areas, but no, that's too complicated. Let's just say, hey, if he did one and he broke one, he's going to get paid one, right? They don't care about the underlying reason or the underlying issue for that. They have no sympathy for your humanity or your feelings. All they care about is their rules. And everything you got to be like, it's like you're a robot. It's like your feelings don't matter. Then if our feelings don't matter, then why have a comment section? Why have all these things that are meant to express our opinion, and they put all these things out just so they have a reason to strike us down, right? That's what I feel like. I feel like sometimes, in some sick and twisted way, in a more twisted and sick universe, in a more twisted and sick reality beyond this one, I feel like YouTube sometimes, in some way, in some metaphorical way, I believe that they put all this stuff out for us to do, just so that they can whip us for it. They give us the opportunity to post videos, to express our opinions, just so that we can get hurt, just so they can hold it against us. That's what I feel like happens sometimes, metaphorically speaking. It's like, why even? I even question God. It's like, why does God give you free will, and why does He hold this shit against you that you do wrong if He's the one who enabled it to happen, right? Shame on me, but you're the one who enabled it, God. You're the one who enabled it. Why am I even talking to you? You don't even exist, God. You don't exist because as such a smart entity, an entity that lives forever and knows how to build things I'd figure would have the intelligence and capacity to understand at least that much, to that degree. But I guess, what they say? They say you can be smart and stupid. Assuming that I'm wrong and that there is a God, I would have to assume that God is really smart, but He's very stupid. It's like, having the ability to create worlds and universes, having all these powers, but yet at the same time you're just stupid and oblivious to the eras of those rules. Like, okay, you don't understand how it's wrong that you enable all these things, but yet you don't understand how it's wrong that you enable all these things and then punish people for the things that you enable them to do, and you blame it on them as if it's their responsibility, but you're the one who enabled it, and you knew what was going to happen, but yet you hold it against them anyway. You could have prevented it, but you didn't. Because this is nothing but a game to you, right? Is that what it is? You could tell me in 1,000 different ways about the Bible and why, and try to justify it, but but I will never be convinced. You will never convince me. You will never get me to believe in it or have faith in it, because I don't, and I believe all this crap that's said in the Bible is untrue. I honestly don't believe there is a God. I can't prove that there isn't, but I believe there's a lot more scientific evidence proving that there's not a God than that there is a God. So I could be wrong, but I'm an atheist and I'm sticking with it. Because everything so far, it's just a lot of things just don't add up. You have so many different factions of religion, and all those religions just don't. A lot of the stuff that happened, there's a lot of things that contradict one another. It's like, okay, if the Bible was the definite meaning to the life and how we're supposed to live, then why doesn't everybody believe it? And why can't God go and tell everybody Himself? Like, why would He intervene? Why would He leave people in the dark trying to find the answers, to find Him? Like, okay, so you're playing these mind games, and then if we don't find faith in you, then you hold it against us and you send us to the pits of hell. That sounds very reasonable and very fair. And I'm being sarcastic when I say that, because it's totally not fair. And a person, like I said, who is capable, if there's an entity that's capable of creating life, is smart enough to do all this stuff, you would think that this entity would have the intellectual capacity to understand that there's a lot of things wrong with these rules. Can't be done. There is no God. There just isn't. And I believe that Professor Hawkins was right. One of the last things Professor Hawking said is that everything's science. There is no God. And we have this rare opportunity to live life like we do, to live as these living things. And I believe we are a small living organism in a large infinite space and cosmos. And I believe there's always going to be things that are larger than us. And we're just a small speck on a large scale of infinite space. And that there is life and things that are larger than we are. And we are just the crust on the toenail of infinite space. So, yeah. That's all I got to talk about, and peace.